Because you say to Amex, yes, look at my purchase history, they know if you're Nike and you want to target Adidas or you want to target sports and apparel, footwear, whatever vertical that might be, they will then push that offer to that brand, that competitor brand. So not only are you acquiring a brand new customer, you're acquiring one from a competitor.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, powered by Affiverse, ultimate destination for affiliate program news, insights, growth opportunities, partnerships, and affiliate program strategy. Whether you're an advertiser, publisher, platform partner, agency, or entrepreneur, we've got the tools, trends, thought leaders invited here to help you to thrive in the fast-changing digital economy. A special thanks goes out to our seasoned sponsors, Everflow.io, for bringing together an exciting lineup of guests to interview this season. Check out Everflow.io for more insights on how to build, scale, and grow successful affiliate programs with intelligent tracking and reporting. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and misunderstood areas of affiliate growth, and that is card-linked offers. We'll be talking about leveraging these alternative traffic partnerships to build scale in your business or brand. And to help us unpack all of this gold, I'm thrilled to be joined by James Bannerman, the VP of Global Sales at rewardcollection.com. James brings a wealth of experience in affiliate marketing, and he's been at the forefront of building smart, data-driven ecosystems that go way beyond last click. Today, I'm super excited because I've got James Bannerman coming onto the podcast today to talk about a really hot topic that few people understand and know how to harness. But after this episode, hopefully you will know everything you need to know about card-linked offers. So James, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here after an opportune meeting in Miami. It was great to meet you guys and hear what you guys are doing. And yeah, I'm honoured really that you want me on. I know how popular and how well this cast does.
Right, so let's get going. Before we start talking about card-linked offers, which I know you're super passionate about, I want you to tell your story because we start every podcast this way. Everybody's a little bit nosy and they want to know, how did you get into affiliate marketing? And how did you land up at Rewards Collective?
Yeah, I suppose, but way back when I left college, I did performing arts. So I was an actor for 2 or 3 years, did some various bits and pieces, and then a little bit of voiceover work and things as well.
That's legit, people, because I actually looked it up on Google when James told me that at the pub.
So I'd done all of that, and I got a part in a play in Whole Truck Theatre Company in obviously in England, and moved up here and met my ex-partner and so on and so forth. And then people were just telling me that I should get into some degree of marketing, sales, something like that. So I got a job at Taste Card, which is a diners club here in the UK. And yeah, our CEO was at the Gourmet Society. So our paths sort of slightly crossed then. We were rivals. I was better than he was, but he done a bit that. And then, yeah, there were a couple of jobs since then. And probably about 4 years ago now, creeping up for 4 years, probably in August, our paths crossed again for the Reward Collection. And we just, I just decided to see if they wanted any help. And they did. And we were looking at doing local card-linked offers, but for local businesses, single local sort of salons, public houses, restaurants, and so on. That's where our backgrounds were. We did really well with that. Did well myself. And then we looked at, sort of national businesses. So I became a national account manager and bought on some very big brands. And then we went, crikey, this is an opportunity here to do this globally. And the United States is the biggest market in this area. So yeah, went through the gears, promoted a couple of times, love what I do, then built a team in the States, and I get to meet lovely people like yourself out in the States, and here's sort of where I'm sat now, really.
That was the short version, but I'm sure there's a lot more experience to dig into in between. But the reason why I love the fact that you're on this podcast is because you come from a very diverse background to normal people that we advertise or that we bring onto the podcast. And you also work with a really unique kind of proposition. So let's start off for anybody that maybe hasn't heard about CLO, if you're into the jargon of affiliate marketing. Talk to us what card-linked offers is and what it does.
Yeah, of course. So card-linked offers, primarily, and what we do, we effectively broker card-linked offers. So a card-linked offer is when you are part of usually a bank or an employee benefit platform. And as a perk or a benefit of being part of that Amex, for example, if you have an Amex card, you'll have rewards within your Amex app as a customer, some perks of being a customer. So when you see those rewards, you'll quite often activate those brands for a cashback offer. And then I will then go and buy using that card only from said brand. We track by the merchant ID. That's the unique sort ofness about us, I think, or card-linked offers and open banking, is that we track via the merchant ID. So James Bannerman, with his Amex card, goes and buys from Nike.com. We then track that piece of transactional data. And that's done primarily from registering with Amex and saying, yes, look at all my purchase history, but give me the best offers going. I quite often say selling your soul to the devil a little bit, because they can see exactly what you're buying, when you're buying it, who you're buying it from. But it means you're getting targeted offers, really. And then, of course, you go and buy from that brand. And the beauty about us as well, it can be omni-channel. So it's not just online and e-commerce platform. It can be offline as well. We have a lot of offline sites in the UK and the US. Fly is one that I brought on that's doing fantastically well. There's about 35 sites in the US. You go to site, use your Amex, PNC, Bank of America card, buy and make that purchase, and then that's what's tracked. And then effectively, roughly around 30 days later, you'll get that cash back that was agreed upon and showcased within your app. You get that back into your bank account to ideally to go and use again at an iFlot or that said brand, or to go and use somewhere else. And 90% of the time that's money. Quite often it might be points, or we work with Avios, obviously Value Dynamics at Collinson, and it can be points or it can be air miles and such as well. But that's how the mechanics works. It's it's bank or credit card, debit card, card linked offers. You link your bank card, you go and buy from the preferred brands of that bank, and you get a bit of cash back and rewarded for that loyalty. As a bit of a thank you, really.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty simple. I think most people will understand that. But now we're going to get into the strategy behind how do you bring card-linked offers into your affiliate program? Because I think a lot of people are kind of like looking at it going, yeah, it's another type of publisher type that we can bring in, but they're not really 100% sure how to use it. And when we were out in Miami, we were talking about the fact that, which is kind of why you're on this podcast, the theme of this podcast is that affiliate is not about one moment, it's about all the moments in the customer journey. And different publishers and traffic sources and, tech partners can help you to get in front of those customers over and over again. And we spoke about this because a lot of clients want to bring card-linked offers into their affiliate program, but they're not really understanding the full potential of what the strategy should be with a partner like yours. Take us through all the different ways that advertisers should be working with you, not just on net new, but on other event types and, customer purchase journeys.
The big point here, and when we discussed it previously, and I think it's a really good sort of case in point, is that we want to work alongside and be an additional, a value add, extra revenue stream for, whether that be, affiliate marketers, whether that be account managers, whether that be, it doesn't matter really. They'll have their own strategy in terms of discounts or point of sale discounts or the affiliate world. However that looks like in terms of, cost per acquisition or, rewarding for bringing traffic, sales to that brand. We want to work alongside that. What I identified quite early on was that we need to be working with the big networks, certainly the agencies, because they're briefed to bring traffic and sales to the, to the brands. But how do we coexist rather than eat in and cannibalize into what's already been happening? And it was a challenge probably about 3 years ago. I identified it very early when I spoke to Awin. So we then work with those networks alongside. So you've got the traditional stuff that's going on with all the brands and the agencies and all the other bits and pieces as well. So we decided that we could bill. So we can go into a dashboard and bill and run alongside all the other things that are going on with affiliate marketers. And we can bill via your Impact, your Awins, your CJs, Partner Stacks, and obviously Everflow, which, I love those guys. And we're working with them very closely on a few different projects, really. But you can do the same thing. So you can build into an Everflow account. So you've got all your traditional affiliate stuff that's going on. We don't want to encroach on that. We want to run alongside it. So you can add a card link to an open banked offer alongside that. And what the difference there is that we introduce into a far wider audience. We're up to a worldwide footprint within the ecosystem. We're over 700 million closed user group customers that we've got access to one way or another. In the States, we're looking at probably in around just over 280, between 230 and 280 million. The reason why that is different is it's customers and engaged customers. PNC, for example, have 13 million customers. They've got 9 million engaged customers that have said, yes, I'd like to be involved in the card-linked offers. And it's to run alongside and add a wider audience, a different demographic. We work with Bank of America, PNC, Drop, Cash App. We work with the guys at Fidel, at Lux Rewards, via MasterCard B2B. So we've got a very wide, what I would call right-hand side and publisher network. And the beauty about us is you can pick and choose. So if a brand already works with an Amex or a PNC or a Cash App, we simply leave those off. We don't encroach on that, and we plug in to the audience in terms of figures, numbers, and the correct demographic. People are after all these, I could say the Gen Zs, millennials and boomers and all this type of stuff. So we sort of capture it all. So the brand gets to choose which publisher they want to be put in front of.
It's not all or nothing. You can actually go in with a targeted strategic approach.
Absolutely. And you can go in particularly with the demographic, like I say. So that might be a gender that you might want to be targeting. That might be an age range. That might be an affluency. Somebody's got a lot more disposable income to spend. Or I've just been on a call literally an hour or two ago. They're looking really for students. So they're looking for it's an educational brand. And they're looking for students and maybe 18 to 30 audience. So we're working on where we're going to plug them into with us. So we can be specific in that way. And I think that brings us on to how diverse we can be in terms of the actual offer as well. So net new, I've never met a brand that doesn't want a net new customer. And we deem net new as they haven't bought. James Bannerman with his Amex card has not bought from Nike.com in the last 12 months. Their merchant ID, their mid. So we would call that a net new customer. We can also do lapse that have bought in the last 12 months, but not in the last 6. So the brands acquired them and paid for them probably via an affiliate model of some degree, but haven't bought, obviously they haven't bought from in the last 6. So they've lost them. Let's get them back, get them re-engaged, keep them. And then we've got the existing customer, and I get this all the time, cannibalisation. We've already got the customer, they've already spent and what have you. Well, there's 3 plays there. Increase the spend of that customer, on average about 28%. Increase the frequency of spend, on average about 0.97, so almost twice as often, depending on the brand. And the lifetime of the customer. So with a frictionless cashback card-linked offer, 12 months longer, that customer is likely to stay between 3 and 5 times that amount of time than they would have done without a cashback offer in place. We can be really diverse in those 3 areas. And the final one is the competitor. So because you say to Amex, yes, look at my purchase history, they know if you're Nike and you want to target Adidas or you want to target sports and apparel, footwear, whatever vertical that might be, they will then push that offer to that brand, that competitor brand. So not only are you acquiring a brand new customer, you're acquiring one from a competitor. And that's a really powerful 4th arm to what card-linked offers and we can do as well. So I think that's a rough idea. Again, that's the short answer. Some might say it's long, but it's a short answer to how diverse we can be. And the real power play here is that it's alongside everything that's going on in the affiliate marketing world. I've been to various PI lives and affiliate conferences and what have you. And we've always been the so-called bad smell in the room, or we've been the ones that, well, can we work with them? It's a bit risky. And we've broken down them doors now, and it's about taking the break off and showing brands, account managers, affiliate managers, and networks, agencies that we can coexist alongside and add some real additional value to what the affiliate marketing world's doing already.
So I love that, because you've actually just given really good use cases for strategy, because a lot of people, they do look at card-linked offers, and affiliate managers are always in the mindset of, I need to go and get more sales. I need to prove that this channel is working. I need to get more sales. But actually, that's one way that they can work with you. But there's 3 other ways that they can work with you as well. And it's almost like you can unlock your funnel and get more value out of what you're already doing as a business by plugging card-linked offers in on top. And you can choose the strategy that you want to be working with to actually kind of meet the KPIs that you're being tasked with. So I think having a clear plan before you just turn it on in your program just because it's available through the platform is probably the first place to start. Thinking about which part of that customer funnel you want to segment that into in order to meet your KPIs is the second part of that plan. And then also, making sure that you can physically track all of this. Can your platform actually, track the mid IDs? Do you have that information available to hand? Because it's not tracked on a normal affiliate link. So that's very important to make clear. The power of partnerships. I want to talk about a couple of case study stories of successes that you've seen with different clients in those different funnel segments off the top of your head, because I know you told me a few in Miami as well. Give us a success story of somebody that leveraged customer growth, not necessarily net new, but actually then plugged your program, plugged you into their program and saw positive results without the cannibalization. Because I think everybody is harping on about that point. I've got the customer ready. How are you going to be helping us? But have you got a story that you can share? Because we all love a good story.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think, absolutely. I think a good one, I think we've had carte blanche to sort of discuss it as well. And a good one with some of the guys we met out in the States is Morrison's, the supermarket in the UK. So what we did with those is they were looking to increase average order value. So they want to increase the spend, whether it be net new or existing. I think we actually ended up being for net new, but adding value. They're a huge supermarket brand. Even new customers are being acquired every day. But how are we going to add value?
Hold on a second, just for people that are in the US, because we've got a really broad audience on this. Morrison is probably in the top 5 of grocery store markets here in the UK. But traditionally, as far as I'm concerned in the UK, it's always targeted an older demographic. They've got like really nice coffee shops in there. And they're trying to kind of compete with the Tesco's and Asda, like some of the others. So just to give the people in the States listening the kind of like backstory.
Well, a good point there as well, Leanne, is that I've spoken to and still speaking to a brand called Gelson's. So they've got offline there, and they're the same. They're coupons, they're an older demographic. They do the shopping for them while they have a glass of something fizzy or cold. It's very much an experience, and they've got a very affluent market, a slightly older market, again, with that, that disposable income. Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole anybody. Anyone can shop anywhere, but you're right, that's it. So what we want to try and do is maybe bring that audience younger. And CLO, open banking, does lean itself to a slightly younger audience because it's tech. It's tech, but it's not scary tech. It's just a loyalty program on your banking app. You've got a NatWest or you've got a Santander, whatever that is. Go and look at your rewards in there, activate an offer, go and spend at that said brand. It's very easy. But you're right. So Gelson's the same thing in the States. That might resonate with some of the guys that are listening in the US. But what we did with them is, what we can do is what we would deem in air quotes as a tactical offer. So we found out the average order value of a Morrison's customer, and we put the minimum spend, I think $5 above that or below that, one of the two. So say, for example, I know the figures, but I don't know how much I can and can't say, but say it was £100, and we put it, say, at 95. So we know that cashback, anything up to 95, there's no cashback awarded. So that just looks after itself. But when somebody spends 96, 100, 250, whatever, they will then get the cashback. So what we're then improving is incremental value on an average order spent. Would they have come previously? Would they have spent the same amount? Would they have spent more? No one can really know that for certain. If you do an advert on the TV or you do a billboard without any point of reference in terms of codes and things like that, you never know what true return on investment is in there. And this is what we did with Morrison's. That was a 3-month contract. I think they've been with us now for 2 years. So it just shows how, and they're more than happy. It just shows the value we're adding by just being a little bit more granular and targeted and listening to what the brand, what they needed, what their challenges were, how we can add that value, because we've got a lot of tools in the toolbox for TRC and open banking and CLO. It's just trying not to bombard people with too much information so it sounds messy or it sounds disjointed. But a lot of these calls have just been on now for an hour. It's a subscription brand. What they want to do is move people from monthly subscription to yearly. That's great. So we know that it costs $10 a month or it costs $100 a year. We know we put a minimum spend on of $15. We know that everything that has been valued and implemented in terms of cashback is a yearly subscription. So we're driving their existing customers from monthly to yearly, which is what they want. Any new customers will know we're only paying out on yearly. And that's what their brief is. That's what they want to do. They want to keep existing and they want to increase the lifetime of subscription brand.
So you can get really granular with this. If you have access to data, and obviously, Everflow allows people to get access to this kind of data. And it also allows you to track and measure by event type, by things that you're actually looking for the customer to do. Spend more than £90 every time you go into Morrison's, because then you get the cash back. So you can actually track all of these events and get very strategic about directing what you want a customer to do, instead of just sending the customer to your site to convert. You kind of need to have your story straight. This isn't for a brand new affiliate program, although a brand new affiliate program could probably scale very quickly if they came to you at the beginning and said, hey, I'm looking for these kinds of customers. So strategically, if you are an affiliate manager working brand side, think about that if you're at a fairly new program. But it's also, you need to have a proper strategy in place if you're an older program trying to get bigger. If you've already got a lot of affiliates in your program, this is a great way to actually differentiate, get into those little niches that maybe your current, paid media team and all of your affiliates are maybe missing. And also think about it strategically around product types, because, you've spoken about a grocery store, which obviously has millions of products and it's a basket value. But then also think about timing, because, when it comes to Black Friday, you kind of want to be working with a CLO because you want to be able to target against competitors, which is one of the 4 reasons that you mentioned people work. So I think, it seems like it's a really interesting proposition to pull into your program at different life cycle stages. But to make it work for you, you need to have a very clear structure and strategy. And obviously, your team is quite adept at working with lots of different clients and different verticals. So you can give that advice to the client as well when they come to you.
Absolutely correct. Yes, my team's built up. Yeah, we've got probably 7 of us now. And we've just been assigned. We've just worked out verticals. We use a source of truth, which we use SimilarWeb for, which is a great little plug for those guys. We love them. They're great. So anything within those verticals, they become what I want them to be, is experts in that vertical. So if anybody's working in beauty, whether it be days out, whether it be food, whether it be F&B, whether it be attractions, travel, flights, and what have you, we have somebody that's an expert in there that know what works. And like you said, some of the bigger brands or some of the more established brands, they'll have very particular ideas on what they want, challenges they face, the things they do and they don't like. So we can double down on things they do and we can find solutions for the things they don't and add some real value. Like this subscription brand, they want monthly into yearly. We can do that with a minimum spend. So whereas we can't track SKU specific products, which is again a different thing between, obviously affiliates can do certain codes, deep links or pixels, impressions, etc. We can gate off certain genres or certain products like we've done here. We know that obviously from monthly to yearly. We also know, there's a couple of brands I've worked with, a very large brand, a little bit like Curry's in the UK, very similar. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak about them, so I won't mention them directly, but they wanted effectively, they know they sell white goods. They have a very small margin in white goods, but they also do other products as well where they have higher margins in. So where we can't be SKU specific and go, okay, a washing machine, we've only got 2%, but then a laptop, we've got 10%. We would either create a blend of 5% for all, or we do a minimum spend that we know X costs X amount of money. It's £200, $200, whatever, and a laptop. I've done this with Corsair, for example, a computer brand. We've worked with some of the biggest computer brands out there. They don't want to sell $3,000 complete or pounds or $3,000 complete setups. They don't have the margin of that. What they want to do is they want to get them for the guts of the computer. So it'll be RAM, memory, mice, all the accessories as well. So we know that if we put a maximum of $500, they'll get X amount of cash back up to $500. We know we've gated off and we've taken out those big complete units, for example, and then we can actually do both. So you've got 10% up to $500 and over $500, you got 5%. So we can be specific in that way as well, depending on products. Whereas we've always found it challenging because affiliates can be so acute, or affiliate links can be so particular about certain products. When I've spoken to the biggest in the world, Apple, they don't want to give their new devices, they don't give anything on them, but their old devices, they're willing to give 10, 15% because they want to shift the old stock. So whereas we can't do it specific for the links, we can do other clever things in terms of thresholds, minimums, maximums, even budget caps and what have you as well. So we're not, initially we didn't want it to underperform. Now we are the size we are with the reach we have and the move we've made in this market, we can now overperform from time to time. So I've just brought on a VPN that the forecasts are tremendous. We're just capping it a little bit to make sure that we don't overperform and no one gets a very large bill they weren't expecting. So we work closely with the brand and make sure we're dovetailing into what the brand wants while still adding value in a different capacity than the things they already have set up with the affiliate marketing world. And everybody we see at PI Live, all the guys, be a link connector or an Everflow, obviously, or Flex Offers or a Click Dealer or Moonpool, whoever, they all look after that. We run alongside that and add some more value in a slightly different mechanic. But we don't need to into what they're doing, or we don't need to be seen as a competitor or a nuisance. We've proven our concept of adding value alongside the affiliate marketing world, and Everflow's a great case in point with that. And there's some good things coming towards the end of this year that we'll see with those guys as well. And we're just going to prove concept and adding value, adding true value. I think is the real important point here.
So let's look at trends and predictions, because you do have a very broad view of what is happening across brands and across multiple geos as well. Everybody that I have spoken to recently in the US is worried about tariffs. That was the big conversation that was happening when we came back from PI Live. What are your trends and predictions? What are you seeing? Are you seeing people kind of cut back on spending? Should we be, preparing for a bit of a slump and a quiet period? Or are people still purchasing but looking for value? What are you seeing on the general trends?
Yeah, we've just done a deal with the US ourselves, and we're in the UK. So I think gradually, by hook or by crook, everyone will have some degree of sales. We have done 2 or 3 brands we brought out. There's another computer brand, not quite as big as Corsair that we work with, but nearly as big. I spoke to them out in the States, and they were worried about this, and because they get a lot of products shipped in from China, so the costs have gone up. So there's been literally, they put the skids on it, they put the handbrake on it for the time being until that's worked out and released. But we're still seeing, because I think we're obviously attract, reward, retain is the strap line for TRC. It's about loyalty, but also for some different demographics and different audiences, it's a cost-saving exercise. So anywhere, and of course we work in the B2B market with our lovely friends at Lux. And obviously, if a business card holder is going to a certain brand, using a certain flight, using an Uber, a Lyft out in the States, because they're giving cash back, that business is then using it as a cost-saving exercise because they're going to get some cash back in. And we're seeing that possibly going to be moving a little bit more as well, where people are going to be looking for a little bit more value or a little bit of money back, rather than just a thank you or a retrospective cash back as a thank you for staying loyal to the brand. I think we're going to see certain movements in the fact that people are going to be using this possibly as a cost-saving exercise. Makes us frightened a little bit in terms of we're not discounts. We're not go around find discounts. The discount market is locked up. You know, from your top cashbacks, your quick goes, UK, US hot deals, Groupon, they look after all that. We're not that, which is why we work with some high-end retail fashion brands, because we protect the brand's integrity if that's the way they want to feel and not if they don't want to. So yeah, we were a little bit concerned, or I was a little bit concerned, crikey, people are going to see us as a cost-saving exercise and not a value add, not a thank you, not a loyalty piece. But everybody's different. When you've got a wide network of hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, everybody's going to be different whether you like it or not. So it's just following those trends and dovetailing in to what customers may or may not need. So,
and also listening to your customers, listen to what affiliates are telling you about their traffic, about their costs, about the things, because it all has a knock-on effect to how you manage your affiliate program. So just to give a little bit of strategy to affiliate managers that are listening, what I would be doing right now is locking in 3-month deals, because then over the summer, as this kind of plays out, I'd want to be locking in deals at today's price point. I'd want to be maybe, segmenting my budget and spreading it around the entire funnel. So not only being heavy in any one type of affiliate. I would actually start looking at card-linked offers to see how I can plug gaps in case certain affiliates fall off the radar, they lose their traction, their costs increase, whatever the case may be. So I think just be a little bit cautious. Don't panic, never panic, but just think a little bit long-term, 3 to 6 months, what does it look like? And try and get your deal secured as quickly as possible. I want to talk about some tactical tips before we get to the end of the podcast. For brands who want to diversify their strategy, you've recommended that they can use it in multiple places, but what are some of the things that people get wrong and then come to you? Can we help people step over that barrier to entry and give them some top tips of what they definitely need to have in place before they come and speak to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think a clear idea of what the challenges are. What are the challenges? What are you championed at? Whether we're speaking to, a BDM, whether we're speaking to an account manager, a marketing manager, from top to bottom, it doesn't matter who you are. What are the challenges? What are you championing? What are your KPIs? Is it brand new net sales? Is it to increase spend? And what I find a blend of everything. We want competitors. Of course we do. We want competitors. We want to offer something to our competitors and let them make the decision. If they pull across brand and then use that said brand, that's then up to that brand to give good service, good products and so on and so forth. But also, the increase on the spend, the existing. Are you happy to offer a loyalty platform? Obviously, the cashback tends to be a lot skinnier with existing because you are looking at budgets then, because you already have that customer. What we're going to do is burrow into that customer and get them to increase their spend, the frequency, and get more out of them. Whereas a more handsome-looking cashback offer usually tends to sit with a net new. And of course, we can control that. So I think the main piece is to find out, what do you want from us? In an ideal world, what do you want from us? And I'm pretty certain we work with over 900 brands. It's over 1,300 since inception. So we're doing something right. We're the biggest broker in the world. So we're doing something right, and we have all these tools in the toolbox. What's your challenge? What do you need? Is it net new? Is it competitor? Is it increasing spend? Is it just a different audience? Is it to get into the banks where the affluency of the customers is usually a little bit more? Is it a younger audience? So we've got the coupon side, we've got the point of sale discounts, all that covered. We want to bring in a younger audience who are using the tech and what have you. So finding out that and telling us what that is, telling me, my team, what that is, and then looking to solve that in the best way we can, again, to add value alongside what's already happening.
Okay, so number one, just to get like really tactical, is know your why. So what do you actually want to get out of this relationship? Be very clear on what the KPIs are that you want to be measured against and get results on. But what about like minimum budget, like tactical things? So like how much budget do I need to have in order to actually make this work and test it? Can I do it on $5,000? Can I do it on $10,000? Or does it depend on what the price point is? What's a good amount of money to give it us? What's a good amount of time? Because affiliate managers will need to know this before they come and talk to you to just kind of make that process a little bit smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends. It depends on the size of the offer. It depends on, we can put budget caps in. So to alleviate any concerns, we're not going to get crikey this. And we've had this before. It's overperformed. It's a nice thing that is a salesperson that's been at ground level. Yeah, we want it to be as successful as we can. But again, and I look at it differently from some of maybe the affiliate world does, because in the existing piece, like I say, that's budget, because that's a cost that's already there. So that is a cost to the business that they're paying for to try and increase the spend, the frequency, and the lifetime of the customer. That's the real crux of it, the lifetimes. Get them staying for you forever in an ideal world. We understand that's not necessarily the case. But in terms of a new customer acquisition, you wouldn't have had that customer anyway. That Amex customer, that PNC bank account holder, going, oh, crikey, said brand, oh, I'm going to give them a go because I already shop at it and such. I'll give them a go. I'll get a little bit of something back so it's worth it, and then I'll see how I get on. That you're paying out on there, say they do $10,000 and we've agreed 10% on new customers, and that's $1,000 the brand would then pay us. So that's what it costs. But that's pure incrementality. And I speak to a lot of people and brands as well. They say incrementality. And I'm like, what does that mean to you? Everybody thinks it's slightly different. True meaning of incremental. Would they have come to buy from us if they hadn't have seen that cashback offer in the first place? That's incredibly difficult to 100% prove. But what we do know is that they are bought because, and this is where we go from top of funnel to seeing an offer to all the way to the bottom of funnel where they purchase. And we deal with everywhere in between. Like you said, Leanne, we can segment into that whole procedure. We can start at the top, we can start in the middle, we can start right at the bottom. So we're just picking up those transactions. Somebody may be on the fence about making a purchase. They see that they're going to get certain percent cash back. And what do they need to do? Jump through hoops? They need to set up codes? They need to do? No, they need to use that card and buy from that product. It is the most frictionless, seamless way of transactions and attribution that there is. And if somebody's on the fence and they've seen something, then we know that we will make them buy. And we know that because we see that complete bottle, we see that transactional data. Said person with said bank, employee benefit platform, publisher, they buy from that brand. We get that transactional data. We can work on refunds as well, so we can, so people aren't paying out. We have a lot of publishers that can give refunds. So they've bought on the 1st, they've refunded on the 15th or the following month. Then we expect the cash back. If we've already taken the cash back, we refund it back to the brand the following month. If it's the same month, it nets off. So they're not paying out on things that they're not actually truly acquired on that as well. And I think that's really important. So without going into everything, all the nuts and bolts that TRC can do within the publisher network, it's another one of those tools that we have to make sure that it's streamlined into what that brand, specifically what that brand wants, and and adding value. And another interesting point as well is, say the existing piece would be a cost. I would deem that a net new. Is it a cost? It's a free sale. Of course, it comes with a 10% say, for example, cash back. But the existing piece, we get data usually bi-monthly. So say we get it monthly. So month 1, 2, and 3. We look at month 3. Has card ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, have they spent the same amount each month? Have they increased it by, on average, 28%? If they have, we're immediately adding value. And then we look at it on the longer piece. Are they staying? Are they consistently buying every month for 12, 24, 36 months? Proven the longevity, the customer lifetime. And they were previously, and the banks can see this with open banking, they bought every month. Now they're buying twice a month, because they're getting a little bit back and they're building up that pot, whether it's a cost-saving exercise or whether it's a value-add, a loyalty piece, buying for somebody else, buying a bit heavier, buying more value-add people spending more. So when you go on a plane, you buy, if you get a travel ticket with a certain airline, if you're getting some cash back, you might want to turn left on the plane rather than right on the plane because you've made it, we all want to turn left. I don't think many of us do it. But you're getting a bit of value add back in there as well. So you're adding a bit more value to whatever you're buying. That might be a more expensive trainer. That might be a more expensive meal out. It might be a more expensive bottle of wine, a supermarket shop, whatever that looks like. That's what card linking truly offers. That's a lot different and proven to alongside the affiliate space, and we can prove that in the data. Once you've got that 3, 4, 5, 6 months worth of data, the proof's in the pudding. After 6 months, it's not done what we said. We have 30 days notice and we leave the platform, we shake hands, or we can pull off different publishers. Again, they can plug into where they want to. Some are working, some aren't. Offline as well. Some stores are working better than others aren't working. We can be very flexible in what we're doing to make sure we're doing what the brand needs us to do.
Okay, so that's a great place to stop because we're out of time. Card-linked offers, something you should be looking at, something you should be looking at strategically. We've given you all the tactics. We've told you how to use it. We've informed you on what you need to get ready in order to actually start using card-linked offers in an effective way. And we've told you how it works. So hopefully this has given you enough information to get you more interested over any barriers to entry that you were thinking about. And James, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, just getting really deep into what card-linked offers are, how they work, and how they can actually substantiate and help brands to grow their business. It is always a pleasure to see you and spend time with you. So thank you so much for being on this podcast with us this week.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm truly honored. Thank you very much. We'll speak soon.
That was packed with value and real talk about where affiliate marketing is heading. You've made a seriously compelling case for why brands need to rethink their funnel and start exploring the power of card-linked offers as alternatives to traditional affiliate traffic partners. And if you're listening right now and thinking, I've got a great story to tell about affiliate success, we want to hear from you. Join us this week and post up your #AffiliateWins and help us flip the script on affiliate marketing. It isn't just about one moment, it's about every moment. So please share how your affiliate program is reshaping how your business approaches customers and put your growth stories out there on social media for us to see. Please #Affiverse and #AffiliateWins in your post, and I'll like and comment on it to give it some reach. Until next time, keep innovating, keep testing, and keep growing. Talk to you next week. The Elevate Summit 2025 is here. Just join us on July 15th and 16th for the premier affiliate and digital marketing event this summer. This year, we're focusing on traffic, where innovation meets inspiration, and we're helping SME brands and affiliates to scale. Elevate is more than just another summit or affiliate conference. It's a transformative experience designed by industry veterans for those ready to embrace the future of performance marketing to grow their businesses. Connect with forward thinkers, affiliate pioneers, SaaS tools, and decision makers as you engage with cutting-edge strategies, immersive masterclasses, and strategic networking opportunities. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a budding SME entrepreneur, Elevate offers insights, tools, and connections to revolutionize your approach to bringing more sales into your business. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this dynamic community. Visit affiversemedia.com, click the Elevate button, and book your conference ticket to find out about our sponsorship and speaker opportunities today.